What up, y'all? It's the Real Ball Watcher. Grab your binoculars because I'm back with another video. You know what it is. We victory laughing right now. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. So today, I wanted to cover somebody, you know, I'm be upfront with it. I'm not a big believer in UDFAs because they just usually don't make the team, man. They usually don't make the team. But I did want to talk about this certain UDFA because as soon as the draft was over, I tweeted out some UDFAs I would like the Panthers to sign, and at the top of the list was Jalen Coker. And they went and got Jalen Coker. I will say during the scouting period, I didn't watch any film on him. I seen a couple clips. I seen other people's opinion, kind of their write-ups and stuff and their videos on him. But never thought he was necessarily a draftable option for the Panthers. I don't think they would be addressing wide receiver that late. Feel like offense early, defense late is what they would have done, and that's what they did. So this is my first time kind of watching him, and it's not going to be a full eval because I still only have 2 games. So I'm just going to talk about what he does best and what he can provide for our team. Now, when it comes to UDFAs, the way you make the team is providing value that a team needs. Obviously, that's how anybody makes the team. But specifically stuff that necessarily other guys won't necessarily want to do. Special teams, of course. That's the main way you'll make a team. Can you contribute on special teams as the UDFA? If not, whatever side of the ball you are, can you contribute something that they do not have? And that's what we're going to cover today. I don't know if Jalen Coker would be a special teams guy, but let's talk about the stuff that shows up on his film that I can talk about and say that he could provide and we may or may not need. So when you look at our wide receiver depth chart, we got like 9-10 guys right now, but the guys I'm almost for sure are locks, shoe-in guys: Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Mingo, Ahir Smith-Marset, I think that's how you say it, and David Moore. The reason I think those guys will make it are what's on your screen right now. So let's look at Deontay Johnson. What's his role in this offense? He's going to be our X wide receiver. I already said he's the first read in all of our concept, things like that. That's what Dave Canales told him, and he relayed it to the media. But he's a separator. He can separate short, intermediate, maybe get open a little bit deep, but mostly short, intermediate, separator, route runner type of guy. First option, first look kind of guy. Adam Thielen, the old man. 33 years old, really one of the best slot wide receivers in the league last year. He did get a bit forfeit, but he still got open from the slot. So he's going to be your possession slot wide receiver, almost like a tight end-esque kind of guy. Just your sure-handed safety valve for Bryce Young across the middle, things like that from the slot. Next, the rookie, Legette. Z wide receiver, so he's going to line up opposite of the X, most likely off the line, and he's going to be your almost flanker. I think with his speed, his jump ball ability, his contested catch ability, he'll be able to get those deep routes to open up the offense, but also he'll be able to get some short stuff so he can kind of get the ball in his hands and manufacture him touches, things like that. That's why I think he's a Z/flanker. Mingo, drafted him last year. I personally think his best role is being a big slot /yak guy. Use him on those RPO slants. Kind of get him on some drags, get him on some digs on the inside, some outside releasing routes. He was really good on things like that. But get him in the slot where he can get a free release and stuff like that and kind of use his heads and his hips to fake guys out, which he was really good. And his yak is pretty good. He's not necessarily juking guys, making guys miss a lot, but he's bouncing off of guys. He's a tough runner, stiff armor guys. He can cut back, things like that. I think that's where he's best used. He might be used as another Z or another X behind Deontay Johnson if one of those guys go down. But I think being a big slot and splitting reps with Thielen would be the best case to use him until he develops the rest of his route running and other wide receiver nuance. And here's Smith-Marset. He's just your gadget receiver. He's going to be your end-arounds, jet sweeps. Maybe put him in there as a flanker. He can run a go because he has some decent speed. But this is our punt returner. This is what I mean by contributing on special teams mean you make the team. He is going to be our punt returner. He had a punt return for a touchdown last year. Had a couple good returns also last year. And he was just a good gadget guy last year. I think they'll be able to manufacture him touches like they did last year. And David Moore, maybe another Z/flanker guy, also could be a gadget guy. But the reason I really think he makes the team is he's worked with Canales before. I think he's worked with Canales 2 or 3 years of his career. So he has a good rapport. He knows the offense. It's going to help the rest of the wide receiver room get used to the terminology, concepts, how he wants things run, things like that. That's why I think they brought in Rashad Penny, who I don't think will make the team, but I'm sure David Moore will make the team. So let's move on to Jalen Coker and see what he provides to the team that we don't have. Now, when I cut on the tape, the first thing that you notice is he's a really fundamental route runner. He kind of sinks his hips. He runs his route to a T. He runs to the landmarks he needs to get to, uses head fakes, plays into the leverage of DBs and things like that. So really good fundamental route runner. He's not a super uber athletic guy. He ran 4.5, so he has enough speed to get deep, but he's not this, and his 10-yard split wasn't really good. His 20-yard split wasn't really good, but he has enough speed to get over top of guys and still threaten guys just a little bit. Still, really fundamental route runner. Also, the next thing that you notice, really good hands and also a great contested catcher. I think he has really sure hands. It's not too many drops that are, it's some drops on his tape, but they're really, really hard catches. It's not too many that's like, hey, how did you drop that? So he should be a really sure-handed guy, and also just really great in the contested catch from what I've seen, whether it's back shoulders, whether it's jump balls, whether it's deep downfield with a guy draped on him. He did pretty good at contested catch. I will say he played at a lower competition, so maybe when guys are much more athletic than him, he'll be blanketed. He's not able to go up and get it over guys, but from what I've seen, he is a good contested catcher. Also, good feet and release at the line of scrimmage. That's how he got over the top most of the time. Really, really good release, quick with his feet, and then able to stack a guy and, you know, stay on top of him because of hhis decent speed. He ran 4.56 or 4.54, something like that. And last thing, really, 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 really good vertical. I think he had like a 42 or 43 inch vertical and 10-foot broad jump or 10-8 broad jump. Really good vertical just to jump and go get it over DBs, go get it over guys. And when you talk about the stuff that he provides that we don't have, I don't know if we have a jump ball specialist, contested catch specialist, back shoulder specialist that's not a tight end. I think Jadavion Sanders adds that as a tight end, but if you want a guy on the boundary as a receiver or in the slot, things like that, I think Coker would be maybe the best at that. I still think Jonathan Mingo is really good at contested catch, things like that, but that's kind of Jalen Coker's game. He's really good at bringing it in traffic, really good with that vertical, things like that. 50-50 guy, kind of like how DJ Chark was for the Jags at the end of his tenure there, and how he was somewhat for us last year when he's catching those 50-50 balls if he caught them. But also, I think he could be that kind of possession guy that Adam Thielen is. You put him in the slot, since he's not necessarily fast, since he has good releases and he is a really good fundamental route runner, he can use head fakes, playing the leverage, he might be able to separate a little bit in the slot. You throw it to him, he has sure hands and also a great contested catcher. He'll pull it in, maybe get a couple extra yards to go down. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be the best role for him to start out in the offense. I've seen people say he could play X or Z, play on the outside, but I think with the lack of athleticism speed-wise, I think playing in that Adam Thielen role would be really, really good for him. Yeah, I don't think he offers much. I think he offers much that we don't have. I think we needed another guy with speed and can kind of get a lot of yak. That's what I think we needed. If we're going to add one more to this offense that's not like a superstar receiver, we're going to need a guy who could take the top off the defense and get a lot of yak if we manufacture him touches. I think Leggett is speedy, but I don't think he can create a lot of yak. I think Mingo has a lot of yak, or is decent at creating yak. I want somebody a little bit better, but he's not very fast. He's not really threatening over top. Deontay Johnson runs 4.5. He's much more of a separator with his routes, things like that. We know Adam Thielen is the guy over top. Here, Smith-Marsette is just a gadget guy. I think if we had another guy that was really, 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 really fast and really, really good at yak, that would be the perfect person to complement just this spread around, get it to every receiver offense. But I do think having a jump ball, sure-handed guy that can go up and grab it in the red zone, things like that. Also, if he's a good blocker, I think that could help with this team. But now let's go ahead and talk about what, the chance I think he makes the team. Now, if I had to give Jalen Coker a chance to make the team, and which is really, really high in my opinion, I'm gonna give him a 40% chance. Reason being, Steve Smith was very high on him. He liked him a lot coming out of school. I think he has very close ties with the Panthers organization, with Dan Morgan, especially who he played with. David Tepper, he mentions how he talks to him a lot. I think they take Steve Smith's word and value it a lot. You've seen it he was very high on Mingo last year. They kind of overdrafted Mingo last year. So I do think that his word means a lot. Also, I talked about how those sure hands, that jump ball specialist, somewhat will be a help to this offense, somebody we kind of need on the outside that, just in case Mingo goes down, then who else are we going to get into a 50-50 boundary ball winner, things like that. So I think that could be him. Also, getting another good route runner and a guy who can kind of be a safety valve for Bryce is always a good idea. It's not necessarily a terrible idea. I think if he can contribute on special teams, be a gunner, things like that, he'll make the team. That's like where 20% of this comes from, or maybe 15. The rest of it, 5% to Steve Smith. The rest of it is his ability and what he may provide. 40% may not seem high, but it's a lot higher for most UDFAs. I think he will make the practice squad. If he doesn't make the 53, he'll be on the practice squad and maybe get flexed up some games. So that says a lot to me. But I'm going to be rooting for the guy. Let me know if you guys think that he can make the team. Let me know if you guys think that he can provide some type of value to the team. I just wanted to be realistic. I don't want to give you guys a super mistake. Oh, we found a steal UDFA who's going to be a star. I don't know. I don't think he's that. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm a hater. But just wanted to be realistic and give you guys my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all that. We just hit 700 subscribers. Please, let's get to 1,000. And let me know what y'all want to see next. What video y'all want to see next? Y'all want to see Shaw Smith-Wade? Y'all want to see some other classes? Because I want to do the 49ers wide receiver core really, really bad. But, yeah, appreciate y'all. This has been a real ball watcher. Put your binoculars up. And, A minor.